Hello, welcome to my Sudoku study series where I'm going to be doing Entropic Doll by Alaric Taqi. Okay, in this puzzle we have normal 9x9 Sudoku rules where you have to place the numbers 1 through 9 in every row, column, and 3x3 box. In addition, we have these peach lines, which are entropic lines, and for these lines, every 3 cells has to have at least one digit from the low set, which is 1 through 3, the medium set, which is 4 through 6, and the high set, which is 7, 8, and 9. So this could be 6, 9, and 1. You have a medium, a high, and a low along these 3 digits, or these 3 cells. We also have Russian doll sums, which is a variant I have not dealt with before. Clues outside the grid indicate that in that row or column there exist 2 digits which sum to the clue and such that digits between them also sum to the clue. Okay, so this digit out here, let's say this 15 right here, you're going to have 2 digits that sum to 15, and in between those 2 digits, you're going to have more digits that also sum to 15. So if you had a 6 and a 9, you could have a 7 and an 8. That goes in order. It doesn't necessarily need to be that way, but the 6 and the 9 sum to 15, and then the 7 and 8 in between them also sum to 15. So those are the rules. There will be a link to the puzzle in the description if you'd like to try it, and I'm going to get started. Okay, so where are we starting with this thing? We're probably going to be coloring these lines so we can find out where the low, mediums, and highs all are. This 4 is interesting because 4 for this Russian doll sum, you need to have 2 digits that add to 4, which can only be done with 1 and 3. And then the cells in between need to be 4, which can only be with the digit 4. So we're going to have a 4 surrounded by a 1 and a 3. And I don't think we can do it along this line because 1 and 3 are from the same set for entropy. So if we did 1, 4, 3, the third cell needs to be from high because we're going low, medium, and you can't go back low again. This would have to be high. So we can't do it along this line, which means it needs to come over here somewhere. Could come across these 2 lines. The 4 could go here, and then this could be the 1 and the 3 since they're on separate lines. Or the 4 could go here, and this could be low, and the other 1 and 3 would go here. So 4 has to go in one of these 2 spots. And then 1 and 3 is going here and here, or here and here. How many ways can we add to 8? You can do 5, 3, 1, 7, 6, 2. You can't do 4, 4 on the same line, obviously. And then you could just have the 8 in between if you wanted to do the same thing we're doing with the 4 with just a single cell in between, but that might or might not be the case. Do I want to color this right away? Let's color this line. So with entropic lines, like a lot of lines, you're going to be rotating between the different types of numbers. So we're going to go, we need every 3 cells to be 1 medium, 1 low, and 1 high. So let's say this is green for, it doesn't matter which one yet. And then we go purple and blue. So these 3 cells are going to be from like low, medium, and high. And then these 3 cells, it's going to have to be from whatever set green is. So you're just going to rotate between the 3 of them. So every 3rd cell is going to be green. So that's going to be this one, and this one. And then these ones are all going to be blue, whatever blue ends up being. And then these ones are all going to be purple. So we have 2 greens and 2 purples up here already. We have 2 greens and 2 blues, and then 1 purple. So we're going to have 1 more green down here somewhere because every box, row, and column are also going to have 3 of each because they all represent the 9 numbers. So we need 1 more green, 1 more blue, and 2 more purples in here. And one of them is going to be 4. So we know one of the medium ones is over here somewhere. So that removes medium from over here, but that doesn't tell us which one is which yet because we only have at most 2 of each. We could probably color this line. We'll have to use separate colors, but that might tell us what green is. So let's use red. Let's see, this would be red, and this would be red. So red is not green because there would be 4 of them. So red is either purple or blue. And then these ones let's call yellow, and then these ones we'll call, I don't like using orange, but I'm kind of running out of colors here. Let's say dark green. Let's go dark green. So we have 2 yellows and 2 greens along here, so they could both still be one of these. It could still match the light green. In fact, one of them has to. It just can't be red. Do we have any that would take out the blue here? Oh, we also have 3 reds here, so red can't be blue. That means red's purple. Okay, so red is purple. So let's change these colors. Red is the same as purple. Okay, that's good to know. So green is either yellow or dark green, and blue is either yellow or dark green. We don't know which one yet. So if 1 and a 3 goes here, and this is the 4, okay, we can't do that. We can't do that because yellow and, or purple and green we know are different. And 1 and 3 both come from the same set. They're both low numbers. So we can't do 1 and a 3 here, 1 and 3 here, and 4 here. So this has to be a 4. Okay. So purple is medium. So they are 4, 5, or 6. We can remove 4 from all of these. Okay. Good to know. So that means this is a 1 and a 3, and this is a 1 and 3. Okay, so dark green is low. So these are all 1, 2, 3. And this one is not a 2. That means yellow is high. And that is 7, 8, or 9. We still don't know what blue and green are, the light green. Actually, maybe we do. This is low, so this is dark green. Okay, so dark green must be blue because it can't be light green because we already have 3 dark greens along here. So that means light green is yellow. But I'm going to make, I like these colors better, so I'm going to make dark green blue. And then we're going to make yellow light green. I just like those colors better. I'm used to them. I use those colors more often. I'm just used to them that way. So this is now blue. Okay, so these are all 7, 8, 9. And these are all 1, 2, 3. Except these 2. So far anyway. Okay. So in this box we have all the blues. We still need a green and a purple. But we already have 3 purples in this column, so we know this one is now a green. And it is 7, 8, 9, and this one is a blue. And it is 1, 2, 3. Wait, no, not blue. Whoops, almost made a mistake. It is purple. And it is a 5 or a 6. Okay. So now we should probably maybe color this line. If I can color everything, it'll make these Russian dull sums a lot easier to deal with. Because then we can do the math, and actually we could probably do this 12 and maybe this 15 right now. Or at least limit it like we did with the 4. Like if this is a 6, well, we probably can't do 6 and 6. Because, well, I know you can't do 6 and 6 because you can't have 2 6s on the same line. But if we did something like, oops, my light went out. Hold on, I gotta charge this. All right, sorry about that. My light went out. Let's get back to this. Okay, where was I? Okay, so we're trying to figure out this 12 sum over here. So we need at least 2 digits in between the sandwich crusts, basically. Because obviously we don't have 12 as a single number. And we could have up to 3 or 4 maybe. Actually, I don't think 4, because 4 would require too many low digits. So if we had a 9 and... I don't think we can do 9 and 3. Maybe this way. Could we do three numbers in between here? Actually, I think we can. If we did 9 and 1, or no, 9 and 3, that would be 12. And then 7, 4, and 1 is also 12, so we could do it that way. We can't do it with the 2 because there's no 10. We can't do it with the 1. Is that the only way of doing it? Could we do it with the 5 and the 7 if we were this far away? I don't think we can. Because the lowest this would be... Yeah, if we did the 5 and the 7, this would have to be 8. And 4, and yeah, that would be 13 at the bare minimum. So yeah, that doesn't work. So I think it has to be this 9, or this 9 and this 3, or this 9 and this 3. And then the numbers in between would be 1, 4, and 7. But we have 2 ways of doing it in this row. All right. Maybe the 17 is more limiting. It's a bigger number. Actually, before I do that, I want to do this line because I just noticed that we have 2 greens right here. So we're only at most having 1 green along here, and it's got to be right here. Because if it was right here, it would repeat right here. If it was right here, it would repeat right here, and we'd have 4 greens here. So that doesn't work. So this is going to be a green, and this is going to be a green. And then along here, we already have 2 blues, so this one has to be a blue for the same reasons. It can't be a repeat here and here. So that means this is a blue, and this is a blue. Which makes this one, and this one purple. So these are 1, 2, 3. These are 4, 5, 6. These are 7, 8, and 9. Okay. This one is probably going to be a little bit tougher because it's only going to have 1 of each. So we're going to have a blue along here somewhere. So we know this one and this one and this one aren't blues. Because we're going to have the 3rd blue on this line. Just like we're going to have the 3rd green on this line. So this one, and this one are not green. But that's really the only thing we know. Do we have any other like basic Sudoku? Oh, we know. No, we don't. I thought this was a 1-3 pair there for a sec. I was about to place a 2 right here. That would have helped out. Because that would tell us that... Actually, would it? All right, so we know this one or this one is going to be... This could be the 9 and this could be the 3, or this could be the 9 and this can be the 3. Can I go the other way? No, we can't do this 9 and this 3 or this 9 and this 3. So this one is never going to be a 3. Okay. So the 3 has to come over here, over here. And then this one is never going to be a 9. All right. Maybe the 17 will be more limiting because we already have a single digit here, so we kind of know where things might go. So what digits add to 17? It has to be the 9 and the 8, right? That's the only way to do it, in 2 digits. So it has to be these 2. Yeah, we have to be these 2, are the 7 and the 8 and the 9. Because these ones are too close. These can't add to 17. And obviously these two, this is a 4. It's not adding to 17. So yeah, it has to be these 2 that are 7 and 8 and 9. So this one is now a 7. This is 11, so that means these 2 have to add to 6. So this is a 1 and a 5. Okay. We're getting some numbers. We're getting somewhere. All right, this one is now a 2. So does that eliminate this from being the 9 and the 3 here? Because it had to be 1, 4, 7. So that makes this one the 9. This is a 1, this is a 4, this is a 7, and this is the 3. So these 2 add to 12, and then these 3 add to 12, which makes this an 8. This is now a 9. This is a 7. This is a 3 and a 1. That makes this a 3. Hey, we're making some progress here. This is an 8, this is a 9, this is a 3. This is a 7 and an 8 and a 2 and a 9 and a 6 and a 3 and a 1 and an 8. Wow, that helped so much figuring out that 17. Wow, that did a lot of work. A lot of work. Okay, nice. So now we know the 8 in this row is not coming in between two digits that add to 8. So we're going to have at least 2 digits in between the two numbers. So this 5, this couldn't be a 3. Well, it can be, but not for this 8 over here, because we can't put an 8 in between them. So that's good to know. Okay. Can we place any other numbers? We know a 3 goes either here or here. Let's do some basic Sudoku stuff. Some basic Sudoku. 7 can't go here. So 7's going to go in one of these 4 cells. That's not a problem. Do we know where the third blue is in this one? We still need a blue and a purple. And that can still go in either one of these spots. Okay. We need a green and a purple in here. That's not resolved. All right. Maybe we do need to look at this line. Actually, you know what? This 17 helped us so much. Maybe it's better to look at the sums. So we can't go between 9 and 8. So this isn't where the 11's going. We could do it here. It could be an 8 and a 3, and this could be like 6 and 5 or something. So that's entirely possible. Could this be a 4 to go with this 7? Can we add to 11 here? I don't think we can. The most we can add here is 9, so that's not possible. Does it have to be this 8 and the 3? It might. 7 would have to add to a 4 here, but those are right next to each other, so that doesn't work. It might need to be this 8 and 3. I don't see another way to do it. All right. Where are we adding to 11? You can do 2, 9, 8, 3, 7, 4. And the 7 can't go with this 4. The 7 can't go with this 4. The 4 can't go here because this can't add to 11. The 4 went up here. This would be way more than 11. So the 7 is out. We'd have to pair the 9 with a 2. Oh, we could do it right here. We could put a 2 right here and a 3 right here. No, we can't actually, because we already have 2 lows, and 2 and 3 are both low. So I would put 4 lows in this column. So no, we can't use the 9. Because this wouldn't be a 2. These 3 digits would add to way more than 11. So I think it has to be this 8 and 3. Pretty sure. Yeah, we've eliminated the 9. We've eliminated the 7. It can't be a 3 here. It can't be a 3 here or here. So yep, that's what it is. This is a 3. This is... If this is a 4, we can't do that, because this would have to be a 7. So this is not a 4. And this is just a 5 or 6. So this is the other purple for this column. And that makes this a 4. And that makes this the other low, which is a 1 or a 2. Actually, it can't be a 1. So this is just a 2. And this is a 1 down here. So this is now a blue. Okay. I'm glad I pivoted back to the sums instead of focusing on this line, because that did some work too. This is now a 5, which makes this a 6, and this a 4, and this a 5, and this a 5. This is a 6. What 2 digits do we still need in here? We need a 7 and a 4. Okay, we don't know which one is which. This is a 5. So which sums have we not done? I didn't really even do this 15, did I? Yeah, I did. Did I? Do we have this 15? Did I just skip over this and it just solve itself? Can't be the 7 and the 8. Can't be the 9 and the 6. Those are the only 2 ways to do it. Did I mess up? Am I wrong? The 6 and the 9, it would be between the 7 and the 8, but that's only 6. Uh-oh. I messed up. Oh man, that's the second day in a row I've messed up. Where did I mess up at? Was it the 8 and the 3? No, there was something before that. How far back? All right. Here's how far back we went. Did I just misplace a number? Is this an 8? Yeah, that's an 8. 2, 1. Did I just misplace a number? Nope. I messed up somewhere. How is this not a 9? This is an 8. It can't be a 7. It has to be high. How is this not a 9? Where did I mess up at? No, it's saying that is a 9. Is this not an 8? Where did I mess up? This is a 6, this is a 3. Okay, I must have just typed something wrong? This is a 2, this is a 1. I must have messed up one of these numbers. No, that's wrong. Which one is wrong? This is not a 2? This has to be a 1. Oh, I colored these wrong. This isn't a blue. This is a purple. This is a blue. So this is 4, 5, 6. This can't be a 6. And this is 1, 2, 3. This is a 1. Okay, I just had those backwards. I don't think I really did anything with those anyway, so yeah. Yeah, I just made a mistake coloring those. Went too fast coloring them. Okay. I'm glad I thought about this 15 because I was like, wait up, I never did anything with that. So there's got to be a way to add to 15 in here, and I never dealt with it. So the only two ways to add to 15 are 7, 8, and 9, 6. And the 7 and 8 are right next to each other, but these at most add to 8. So it's got to be the 9 and the 6. So this one's got to be a 6. This would be 2, 1, and 8, which is 11. So this would have to be 4. So this is a 6, this is a 4, this is a 5, this is a 6, this is a 6, this is a 5, this is a 6. Okay. I'm annoyed at myself for doing that. I'm pretty sure that I didn't really rely on these colors for really much of anything yet, because I didn't do anything with this line that interacts with these. All the interactions have come up this way, so I don't think that really messed anything up. Hopefully. Okay. So yeah, this is 15, and then this is 15, these 4 digits. So the only sum, wait up, does this one still need to be the 8 and the 3? I think it does. Yeah, I mean, the logic still works out that I worked before, as long as I have the colors in the right spots. This is every third one. This is, it goes blue, pink, or blue, purple, green, blue, purple, green, blue, purple, green. Okay, so those are all in the right order. And we know these are all in the right order because they're correct. I don't like using the puzzle checker, but once I realized that nothing over here had to 15, I just had to make sure. So anyway, let's move on. Let's not dwell on it. So this still has to be the 3 for the same reasons that I outlined earlier. So this is a 3, this can't be a 4, and this is a 5 or 6. That all still stands. So this is a 5 and this is a 6. This is a 4. This is a 1 or a 2. This is also a 1 or a 2. And this actually has to be a 2, just like I said earlier, and this is a 1. So that line still all worked out the same. This is purple. This column still all worked out the same as it did before. This is no longer a 6. Are we done with the sums? No, we still have to do this 8. So it can't involve this number. It can't involve the 5. Because let's say we did a 6 and a 2. We couldn't do it here because this is 5. We couldn't do it here because these two already add 8 and there would be another number in the middle. So that's at least 9. So it's got to go over here somewhere. And it can't involve the 3 because the 3 would have to pair with the 5. Well, could it involve the 3? It could. We could do 6, 2, and then 3, 1, 4. So it still could involve the 3. Is that the only way of doing it? Could we use the 1 and the 7 as the sandwiches? I don't think so. Yes, we could. We could do the 1, the 7, and then the 6 and the 2 in between. So we could do that if they were all over here. If it involves the 3, we need the 6 and the 2. And then doing 1, 4, and 1 and 4. So these could be 6, 2, and this could be 1 and 4 in here. As long as this is the 4 and this is the 1 because of this 1 and 4 up here. So we don't know what we're doing with this 8 yet over here. So we have this last pair up here, which was a 4 and a 7, right? And then these 3 digits are 1, 5, 8. That's not really doing anything for us at the moment. Maybe we do need to get down to this line. It's the only thing I can really see. We know a 3 goes over here somewhere. Maybe some basic Sudoku first, just to see where we're at. Actually, this has to be a 5, because we have these 2 5s pointing this way. So this is the only spot a 5 can go. We still need a green and a pink. We need a 4 over here somewhere. Do we have that? No. One of these two is going to be a 4. Don't know which one yet. And then the other one would be the green, the 7, 8, or 9. Oh, this one's no longer a 5. So we know there's going to be another green along here. And it's got to be the 9. The 9's going to have to go along here somewhere because we already have the 7 and 8. We need at least one green. We need exactly one green up here. So the 9 is going to go in one of these 2 spots, which means one of these 2 is green. And then we need a 1 down here. Actually, the 1 goes right here because we need a 1 in this column and it can't go here or here. And it's going to be, we need a blue cell along this line. And it can't be the 2 or the 3, so this is a 1 and this is a 9. So this is blue, this is green, and that makes this green. No, it doesn't make this green. I almost made another mistake, and then these 2 are purple. So this is no longer 9, this is no longer 1. So this is 7 or 8. This is 4 or 6. Actually, it can't be a 4, so this is just the 6. And this is a 5, because this 4 up here, which makes this an 8, and this a 1, and this a 5. This is now a 7. All right. Let's finish coloring these. So these is going to be a 9 and a 6, and we know the order. This is a 6 and this is a 9 because of this 6 right here. Okay, now that might help us with this 8 now that we have this 6 here. So I said if there was 6, 2, we would have to have the 3, 1, and 4 in between. But this 6 is too close to this 3. We'd only have 2 digits. So if this was the 2, this would have to be a 5. But we already have a 5. So this is now a 1, 7. This is the 7, and this is the 1, this is the 2. So this is the sandwich for this sum, and this is the numbers in between. This is blue, this is also blue, this is green. All right, we still have 2 digits to go up here. Well, I just saw this is a 4 and a 7, so let's color those. Let's just finish coloring if we can. These 2 digits are a 4 and a 9. Is that resolved? It is not. Okay, we don't know which is which. Anyway, these 2. We're going to need one of the greens. We need a 7 or an 8. Actually, this has to be a 7 because a 7 can't go here and a 7 can't go here. So this is a 7. This is a 4 and an 8. Is that resolved? It is not. Okay, what about vertically here? Besides the 4 and the 8, we also need a 3. And the 3 can't go here, so this is a 3 here. So this makes this a 3 here. This is now blue. This is the 8 because the 4 can't go here. So this is an 8, and this is a 4, and this is an 8. So this is purple. These are green. This is a 4. This is a 2. I probably don't need any of these colors now, but we're so far into the coloring, might as well finish it off. Yeah, the rest of this is just Sudoku. So we need, besides the 8 and the 9, we also need a 4 in this row. So this is 4, 8, 9. Oh, not these ones down here. Didn't mean to do that. This can't be an 8. Oh, that's a 4, 9 pair. We're leaving the 3 up here by itself, so that's blue. Leaving this as a pair behind. This is a 1 or a 2. This is a 2 and a 1. They're both blue. This is also blue. This is a pair, which is a 2 and a 5. What do we need in here? Besides the 2 and the 5, we need a 7. 7 goes right here because this is 7. So this is also a 2 or a 5. Oh, this is the 5 because we have the 2 over here. So this is a 5 and a 2. Makes this a 5. These are purple. This is green. This is blue. These 2 digits are a 6 and a 9. Nice. This is a 4. This is an 8. This is a 9. This is a 4. This is a 9. So this one, this one, this one are green. This is purple. And then finally down here, we know we need a green, which is going to be an 8, but I'm going to color it first. And then this one is a 2, and it is blue. This is a 2 and an 8. Okay. 32 minutes. I messed this up just because of this coloring mistake over here. I flip-flopped these. Again, I don't think it really messed up the puzzle because I didn't really do any interactions with this stuff down here until I caught the mistake anyway. So I'm glad I did catch it though when I started looking at this 15 because I realized I hadn't actually done any calculations with it. I'd done the 12 and the 4 and I looked at the 8 and the 11 and I kind of forgot about the 15 over here. So I'm glad I looked at that. So yeah, that was a little frustrating through my own mistakes. It was a good puzzle, you know, like it's a fun puzzle. I always like, I always enjoy the lines where I have to color the entire thing. Well, not have to, but I get to make a nice colorful puzzle. But yeah, that was my own mistake there from miscoloring because I got ahead of myself, but that's okay. So thank you to Alaric for creating the puzzle. There's a link in the description, just as a reminder if you want to try it. And if you're enjoying my videos, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and follow.